What is happening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of GK's DR, aka Death Ratio. Death Ratio.
Death Ratio.
Death Rodeo.
Death Ratio.
Death Ratio. Yeah, I don't know why. I'd accident formed there on the last word.
You had mentioned before on a different piece of content, I feel, where you no, it's when we were playing Destiny on 4th of July, and you were like, you guys gave me as much shit about things that I say wrong. And so if I did that to you guys, you wouldn't be my friends anymore. And you just serve it up to us every time. You know what I'm saying? Just like a T-ball.
I know. It's literally fucking Devin. But I know. But I'm just not that guy. I'm just not.
Oh, we know. We love you. We love you for it.
I take it in stride, though.
What did you say the other day? Snoop.
Oh no.
Snoop. Oh, the suit. What the fuck? Spoot?
Yeah,
he spooked.
Yeah, I was trying to say suit, and like then the other word, the word after it was going to be supposedly. So I spoot. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about the comic book costume.
Yes, that's right.
Honestly, there was a few times that episode where my brain was not, definitely outpacing my mouth.
Oh, I could tell. There were a couple that I heard. That's okay. We don't judge you for it here.
Honestly, it's a common occurrence around here. But yeah, hi, hello everybody. I'm your host this evening, Garrick Bartholomew. See, I can't even say my own name right.
Shit!
Like,
just go. Just keep it going. You know what I mean? That's fine.
I enjoyed this evening by one of my wonderful co-hosts, the Shrine of the Ocean Shrine, Pernell Pearson. Pernell, how are you doing?
Dude,
this wonderful Tuesday. This wonderful fucking hot Tuesday.
So hot right now. Oh my fucking god, guys, it is hot. And I know that I'm trying to be better about not cussing in the first 30 seconds of our content. I'm trying to be better. It is so fucking hot in Portland right now. My ass sweat is ass sweating. You know what I mean? Like I have swamp ass in my swamp ass. Like it's fucking incredible, dude. I'm wearing my Cubano outfit today because it is just so blistering fucking hot here. And work was a fucking delight. I got my summer hat. It was the only hat that I had that could match.
What's like that style of hat called though? Like what's the name?
I call it
I can never
safari hat.
That's not a safari hat.
I know it's
not quite.
But it's like the closest thing that I can think of.
It's really close to a safari hat.
Yeah,
it's a bucket hat. It's called a bucket hat. Just call it a bucket hat.
Is it a bucket hat? Bucket hats don't usually have the thing though. You know what I mean? They don't usually have the thing though. The string thing.
All right.
I call it an adventure hat.
I'm genuinely asking.
It's an adventure hat.
But anyway,
is what I call it.
I wish but the reason I was asking was I cannot pull off that style of hat at all. I wish I
can't either. I'm just wearing it because
you're absolutely
dude, no, because I put this fit on and I feel like Randy Savage. That's what I feel like. You got me on your podcast. And you're telling me,
why
I don't like it. Just feels like a Randy Man Savage. You know what I mean? Like it just feels like a Randy Savage fucking outfit to me. I don't know. Would he wear? He would wear this, but with the sleeves torn off. You know what I'm saying? You just wear this. I was just telling Devin if I could do that. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it. I'll do it right now. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it right now in honor of Randy Savage himself. You know what I'm saying?
That's a nice shirt.
Don't test me. Don't test me. Don't test me,
that brother.
Don't test me.
I like that shirt. It's a good.
You
have a good fit.
I'll tear my sleeves. I'm saying I'll do that. I'll do it. Anyways,
how are you doing today aside from it being? God,
I'm okay. I'm all right. Work was. I'm good, dude. I'm back from vacation and I am ready. I went to work and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't do this, especially with how many fucking stupid HVAC calls I got today. Nah, did not want to do it. Did not want to do it. So I didn't. I just quit. I'm kidding. I didn't quit. I wish that was the case, but
in your head, you rehearsed it in your head really loudly.
Yeah, I thought about it. Yeah, internally. I said it, not out loud. That's what happened.
He was like,
I get you.
Bitch, you guessed it.
Yep, exactly. I was like, my boss came up to me. He's like, "Hey, make sure this gets done." And I was like, "Fuck you," but I didn't say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't say it.
Coward.
I felt it.
Yeah, he had, like Ernell was just constantly having like those little moments, like all day, where like he's just dissociating, like Homelander was, where he imagined laser beaming that crowd.
Yep.
He's imagining laser beaming everybody at work and then quitting.
Yeah, literally. Except the late. Never mind.
See, I don't know what's worse. I don't know what's worse. See, that's the problem. That's what, like, what does that say about us, right? That he didn't have to vocalize it for it to be known. That is such a problem. That is such a problem. Wow. We're also joined by my other lovely co-host this evening. God. Ooh, like there's a therapy session there.
It's me. I'm your therapist.
Jesus Christ. As I was saying, we're also joined by my other lovely co-host this evening, Brevin the Dude, Devin Stanford. How are you doing on this Tuesday? Is it just as fucking hot? And does your ass sweat have swamp ass on your neck of the woods?
Yeah,
you're gonna hate me. But no, I'm not sweating.
Yeah, he has AC in his office, man. Like,
my central AC is working the way it should.
Yeah, man. Like, it's
well,
a
not
bummer,
only
dude.
that, it does get warm in this room, but I have two little desk fans like this that are actually really powerful, and they work really well. And like, so like.
Did you take your hat off to do that? Okay.
I did. I forgot that I had product in my hair, and I was gonna like do it to like show my hair moving.
Oh God, you wear a hat over product hair? Oh, that's ballsy.
Only because I worked.
And
then I came home and
you don't really like wash the fucker. Like I hate that shit. I hate
dude,
the feeling of hair product.
Dude,
like
I don't put a lot of product in my hair. I don't put a lot. It's very minimal.
Like, product in warm weather, anyways, man. Like.
I use matte product. I don't use like anything shiny or anything like that. I use a very
I hate that shit.
Like a very minimal like clay base.
Yeah. If it's not staying in fucking place, I don't fucking want it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I just do it to shape it a little bit, like, you know, so like hey, what's up, dude?
Like,
hey,
because like if I'm gonna put oh God, you don't say that. I saw myself. If I'm putting
they
stuff
came out with that Gent record.
Ew! Oh God! Ew!
Yeah, they did a Gent.
You're making it worse. Oh no! If I'm putting product in my hair, like I'm just gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go all the way. So I glob that bitch. A little rubby rub. You know what I'm saying? A little rubby rub.
Yeah.
And I'm just like fucking that bitch up. You know what I'm saying? And then I like give it the nice wet look, and then I'm pretty good because that's the only way that I can like feel good about myself is when it looks wet.
Yeah, I had to do like a soft reset on my mullet. You know what I mean? So
wait, hold on. Did you say soft reset on the mullet? How do you soft reset?
Well, how do you soft reset a mullet?
It like I don't know. I wasn't liking the way it was doing, so I had like a lot of the length and stuff cut off, and I'm getting it like reshaped and stuff. So I'm just waiting for it to grow out a little bit more, and then and I sent some pictures of how it used to be before I got it cut, you know, to Corey, and I was like, hey, next time. Like this, and he's like, we might have to wait like a month, and I'm like, that's fine, we'll just trim the side, you know, keep it like nice and cleaned up until then. So
she said,
yeah. I'm going to get cut tomorrow because I want to cut before Blink-182.
I don't blame you.
I contemplated today coming home just shaving the whole fucker off because it is like you can see I'm shiny right here, and I know that like typically I am because I'm overweight, right? I always have a shiny part on me. I understand that. I'm aware of that. But right now, it's shiny as fuck, okay? It's shiny as fuck. for all like the war suite. I haven't even like thrown any rope or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't shot any rope. I'm just
no, stop.
I'm just
no, stop it.
Go on, Garrick, hit him with the intro.
But we're not talking about being shiny.
I'm glad that's the route you took.
But today we are talking about Game Pass taking a hike, expanding on Game of the Year, and much, much more. Because this is Good Kraken's Death Ratio, and we're slashing through the podcast space to be your source for all the nerdy video games, news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear live each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. If you want to get ahead of the curve, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcast and video services wherever you like to watch or listen.
We're
but
getting
if you spend all your credits in another shop, that is totally fine. You can watch us record this show live right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show.
We have to play.
And if you have... what?
Yeah, go. Say it.
If you have Amazon Prime, you also have what, DJ?
Prime Gaming.
Let's go.
Thank you, DJ. You also have Twitch Prime, and we would love for you to give that to us to help us level up our game. But you can also support us by going over to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Death Ratio and leaving a review there.
Thanks, Worms, for the raid.
Thank you, Wormy. We love you, Wormy. Thank you. I have Carl the Kraken.
I'm sorry, you caught me monologuing.
I have Carl the Kraken stuck on my face right now, currently. I don't know if you guys see him.
You don't for me. You don't for me.
No, I'm still present. Okay, so on stream I am, and I look like, because of my hat, I look like the neighbor from Home Improvement. So I think I'm gonna own it. I think I'm gonna own this look tonight and just let this happen. You know what I'm saying?
What if you just like turned off your camera and turned it back on?
Well, and it's no, ew. Why would I want to do that? That's gross.
Because that would probably fix the thing.
Do you know how much good content I can make when nobody can see my mouth moving?
No, I do not want you talking about what you tried to talk about earlier.
What, shooting rope at work?
Damn it.
Hey, look, if you guys are gonna quote me, if you guys are gonna fucking quote me, at least quote me correct. It's blast and rope, okay?
Blast and rope. Okay, I'm sorry. Just fucking blast and rope. Okay.
Blast and rope.
Just cannoning rope. Is that a
no?
Is that a
No.
blast and rope? No. Okay. Yeah, see, I mean,
blasting the cannon.
Glenn Coco and chat's with it, dude. I mean, like this. They even say this place is cool as hell. I mean, like we're blasting rope out here. Like that's what we're talking about. But we have other things to talk about first.
I hate it.
No, okay. Yeah, sorry. We're
we
video
have some
game
critical
podcast.
hits. Shit, Jesus. Hey guys, don't forget that we have all of our episodes from all of our other shows that are just as big of a fucking disaster as this one. All of that's available on YouTube, guys. Like all of that. And if you guys, it's got the audio format on there, and just because it's YouTube, there's also additionally video format. Weird, right? So you guys, if you guys want to watch us be fuck faces while also listening to us do the same thing, YouTube is absolutely the best choice. Yeah. So get on that. Get on that. Also, you can check out the episode of the Shipwreck Show, episode 127. If you're gonna go listen to it, I'm gonna say 126. I lied to you. It's actually episode 127. Don't worry about it. Okay, just go watch that episode. What is it about? I don't know.
I've only listened to like a third of it, so I don't know myself yet either. Actually,
a little bit of Vine, a little bit of it. Honestly, it was a weird one. And also, honestly, if you just want, if you want to subject yourself to this in your daily life for some reason, you can also join our Discord for more discussions, gaming and watch parties. Where like on 4th of July, we just get together and just watch a bunch of questionable films, some really good ones and some questionable ones, and so then you get the only way to be a part of that is to be a part of our Discord. Do that.
Also, if you do follow us on YouTube, you can smash this link right here and watch Ernell smash or pass Pokemon.
Yes,
Why do
I
you,
did. I did do
why
that.
do you
I did do
upsell
that.
that so hard?
Because he knows
He
it's
up-
good
like-
content. That's why. I spent a good hour and a half. I did an hour and a half explaining all the Pokemon I would blast rope with. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did. And Devin just understands that that's good content. You know what I mean?
That's how you use that word.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
right. Now
Yeah.
we're
Word's right.
learning.
What in the
We're
bestiality?
learning. We're
Listen,
evolving.
I sent this
Oh
video
my
to Ernell
God.
on Facebook recently, and
Yeah.
I'm
Tell him.
wondering if he watched it yet. Did you watch it?
Was it the Vaporeon one? Yes, I did. Yeah. Unfortunately, I did watch that. Yeah. Well, and funny enough, Vaporeon was kind of not one that I said. Kind of.
Oh, you did that on purpose.
Only because I had a look. I had a look and I smiled because I thought of Garrick and I was like, I can't not.
Somehow worse.
Yeah, because you're the one who taught me about the Vaporeon thing. It's your fucking fault. You know what I'm saying? It's your fault, man.
Do you understand? Do you understand how many times I have accidentally fed you things you should have never known?
Yeah, 100%.
You're like a fucking Yaogwai, and I fed you after midnight, and it's a curse. And now I have to live with the consequences. Devin, please tell the people what we have coming up next.
We got some breaking news today that caught us in our line of sight.
That was a beautiful segue.
That was a beautiful segue.
Golf
Nice
clap.
job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Golf clap.
Thank you.
I'll clap for
great.
myself.
That was
Yeah,
great.
thank you.
Yeah. You
Thank you.
can give yourself a
You know what that
pat on
also
the back.
sounds like?
What the fuck is...
Scooping yogurt.
Or now read the fucking article.
My
Read the
good
fucking
sir,
article.
today, everybody, we got the very unfortunate news, which we're going to dive into a little bit deeper here. Xbox Game Pass is getting major changes, including a new tier without day one games and a range of price increases. This comes from Jez Corden over at Windows Central, and they said, 3 things in life are certain: death, taxes, and price increases. Today, Microsoft confirmed to us that details on the long-expected Xbox Game Pass price increase is well and truly here. But it comes with some major changes to the basic Xbox console tier as well. Xbox Game Pass is Microsoft's Netflix-like all-you-can-eat gaming subscription service, and one of its more noteworthy recent gaming innovations. For a monthly fee, players get access to hundreds of games as well as day one titles from Microsoft Studios. That includes games like Starfield from Bethesda, Halo from 343i, but also future games like the next Call of Duty set to launch in the fall. Microsoft rebranded Xbox Live Gold, the paywall for premium multiplayer titles, to Xbox Game Pass Core a short while ago, and has done some small price increases over the years. Now we're getting another name change of sorts, as well as a major change to the basic Xbox Game Pass tier, as well as a range of price increases. Here's what you need to know. Soon, Xbox Game Pass for console will be shuttered for new users only. Users currently on Xbox Game Pass for console will be allowed to maintain their subscription, as well as day one games and the hundreds of titles in the back catalog. Nextly, new users on Xbox Game Pass in the near future will be greeted by a new Xbox Game Pass standard, quote unquote. This is more like EA Access, which includes Xbox's back catalog and doesn't include day one games. This will be priced at $14.99 per month and will also include Xbox Live Gold for multiplayer, now known as Game Pass Core, confusingly. It doesn't include Xbox Cloud Gaming. Game Pass Standard is supposedly launching in September. From September 12th, 2024, Microsoft will only allow users to stack Xbox Game Pass for console users for up to 13 months using prepaid cards and the like, which will continue to function. If you have more than 13 months stacked already, you won't be impacted. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will not be changed, but it will get a price increase. It will still include PC Game Pass, day one games, and hundreds of back catalog titles, as well as cloud gaming, but it is getting a price increase. The new price will be $19.99 per month. That is US dollars, everybody. PC Game Pass is also getting a price increase from $9.99 per month to $11.99. PC Game Pass will also continue to get day one games. Xbox Game Pass Core, Xbox Live Gold multiplayer, gets an annual price increase to $74.99 from $59.99, but it will remain $9.99 per month. The price increases are global, and you can view the new prices for your region at a link at the website. For users with recurring billing, the new prices will take effect on September 12th, 2024, giving you time to cancel if you don't fancy it. Now, we do have an update, and it's a little bit lengthy here, so do buckle your seatbelts, guys. We're almost there. We're almost there. Microsoft now has a support page dedicated to these changes. According to Microsoft, the vast majority of users today are already on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is their flagship plan for the service. Game Pass Ultimate incorporates all games on Xbox consoles, as well as in the cloud and on PC too, often with cross-save and cross-progression. Microsoft joins a long list of subscription services like Netflix, Spotify, and others increasing their prices over recent years. For users who play tons of games, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate more than pays for itself, but for those who don't, Xbox Game Pass increasingly might look like a subscription service worth cutting from their monthly bills to save cash. Xbox Game Pass has been an amazing service for users with hundreds of games and thousands of dollars per year in annual savings, if indeed you use the service frequently. I personally do not use it frequently and consistently, particularly for... Oh, sorry, they actually said I personally do use it frequently and consistently, particularly for Xbox Cloud Gaming. Indeed, Xbox Cloud Gaming is also slated to allow you to play games you actually own outside of Xbox Game Pass fairly soon too, which will boost the value of Ultimate. Still, the fact that quote-unquote day one games are no longer standard seems like a major concession for Microsoft. Since the service's inception, people have wondered whether or not giving everyone access to games day one was a sustainable model, and post-pandemic, perhaps it simply isn't at that previous price tier. The vast majority of users are on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate right now, I'm told, though Xbox Game... sorry, I totally botched that. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will continue to get Xbox titles day one, including Call of Duty 2024 heading into this holiday season. It's also a positive step that Microsoft grandfathered an existing Xbox Game Pass for console users into the system, allowing them to keep their entitlements. I can see it eventually being phased out, though, as more and more users move to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Truth be told, there are undoubtedly some users who simply don't see the point in paying for Xbox Live Gold multiplayer, given that many titles are now free to play and don't require any form of paywall subscription to play. For them, something like Xbox Game Pass for console might be a better option overall than Ultimate is, but I suspect it's probably a small audience at this point. Unlike Netflix and Spotify, which have access to an almost infinite number of devices to grow on, Game Pass as a subscription service is arguably limited to a subset of devices in a subset of scenarios, while simultaneously competing with platforms like Steam on PC and PlayStation on console. Apple and Google do everything they can to block Xbox Cloud Gaming from becoming a thing, and Microsoft has struggled to move Xbox One owners to Xbox Series X and Series S as rapidly as I'm sure it would have liked. It'll be interesting to watch how the service evolves from here. Wow, that was a read. Sorry, guys. Big long read.
That was a lot. That was a lot of information that we just got dumped on y'all. But it's a big change. We talk about Game Pass here a lot, and like the impacts on what that's like. There's been a lot of talk about this coming down the pikes. Especially since they acquired Activision Blizzard, which is really interesting because I wish I could find the receipts for it, but I'm pretty sure there were some individuals in the past that said we're basically going to do everything in our human ability to make it so we don't increase our price after the acquisition.
Yep.
And one of the things that I find really funny is like you announced that like Call of Duty is going to be coming to day one Game Pass, right? And like now obviously that's only going to be available on your highest level of subscription. What I find really interesting about this is almost more restricting in a way than PlayStation's model, even though it's cheaper.
In a weird way, yeah.
Like it's like they almost, because they separated their tiers into something very similar. The only reason it doesn't function quite the same is they obviously have like a PC only version, and there's not really any access to like the PlayStation Plus stuff on PC. right? Like they don't have that functionality. So like all of their stuff, it just exists as a flat pricing, like, and it scales exactly on that console. Well, these guys have like some parallel pricing going on, right? Like there's some pricings that that like just got increased, like, or like I find it, one of the ones that was interesting, it was like I found it really strange that this is the PC one that was just going up the oh yeah, the Xbox Game Pass core, like the annual price is going up, but its monthly fee like is not. That's weird.
That
That's
is
just
weird.
kind of strange.
No.
But another thing that I found like kind of interesting is like, why the fuck, like, I'm sorry, like, why the fuck do PC users get day one titles for like $8 cheaper day one?
Okay.
There we
So
go. Xbox guy, let's go.
Well, like,
Ultimate-
and like I about to say, there's like a part two question to like this question, especially
okay.
so why are PC gamers getting it for cheaper when I've bought your proprietary platform?
Okay. All right. Fair question. Devin,
Mhm.
kick it off first.
I think it's to be competitive in the PC place because they have to compete with so many other markets, right? And a lot of people who use PC Game Pass genuinely probably don't have an Xbox console but have a PlayStation console. You know what I'm saying? Because like you see the argument a lot, like why do I need to...
That's exactly his scenario.
Exactly. So like you don't need to have Game Pass Ultimate anymore if you're primarily playing on PC. So $12 honestly a month is not a bad deal, I think, still to get all these day one games. I've even like after reading this today, I've even considered, like, I have an Xbox, right? I'm gonna keep it, but I don't play it that much for Game Pass games. Like, I don't. I own a lot of games on it, but I don't play it that much on Game Pass. I might just switch. I don't use cloud gaming at all. I have no reason to.
Yeah, I don't use cloud gaming.
You know, I might just switch to just having PC Game Pass, and that's it.
Sure.
You know, and play the games on PC, because I have a more than capable machine, you know, to do so. But I really think it's just because it's trying to be competitive, you know, with all the different stores and different games and stuff on PC, and they're genuinely still trying to grow that audience because they release their games on Steam and everything too, right? But they're still trying to grow that Xbox platform on PC. And if they price hike it too much, then there's not going to be enough value for people to actually pay for the service. You know what I'm saying? When they can just play those games in other places. That's probably like one sense of looking at it, and still trying to compete with the PlayStation at the same time, even though it's on two separate machines.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, same. I mean, like, I suppose that's fair. That's a fair way to base it. I mean, I still think that this is one awkward. I think this is very awkward for them to do this.
Yeah, Microsoft's in a. And just, I feel like they keep doing like weird guy shit.
Yeah.
Embarrassing themselves and like then slinking back a little bit and then like come back out and they're like, "Are we cool? Cool. I'm gonna shove my foot in my mouth one more time, really quick. You guys want to watch?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
It's getting weird because I mean, like, we're all conscious of the fact that like the games industry, it's a business, right? Like they have to do business things. We understand that. I think it's mostly weird because Game Pass increase in this economy. You know what I mean? Like it feels like one of those things where it's like we just saw increases of somewhat recent, right? Like I don't mean recent as in like, you know, a month ago, but last year. And I get like wanting to, you know, go with the increase of like the increase of cost of living and things like that. They have things they have to pay for. I feel like this was I don't know, very weird timing because there's so much other shit they have going on that they need to be like putting their eggs in different baskets for. And this just seemed like a really weird fucking thing for them to do. One, because they said they wouldn't, and two, like they are anyways. And that's like the part that's really weird to me. Now, I know that like, because Devin's probably going to say it. They said specifically that they're not going to do it because of the acquisition. But like, let's be real. You're just talking out of both sides of your mouth at that point, right? And it's like, yeah, like they're offering more options for specific people. I'm just trying to look at this from a perspective that's outside of my own, because I'm just going to stick with what I have. I have Ultimate. I'm just going to stick with it. Whatever. It's just too much of a fucking hassle to worry about like which thing I'm going to get, blah, blah, blah. I'll just stick with it and just see where things go from there. But for someone that like doesn't play games at the amplitude that we have to create content, like they're not going to stick around for that. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like,
I have plenty of friends that like already legitimately like, I'm canceling my Game Pass subscription. This is like that was the last price hike. Devin.
Yes.
This was inevitable, right? Like, I think with the way that the market's been going, they are trying to make consoles cheaper for like a point of entry into the Game Pass, because they've been doing that and coming out with a better, Series S, cheaper version of the Series X and all of that. They've been doing that. But like with all the acquisitions, with all the games that they're working, like we saw how many like Xbox like first party games, at that last showcase that they're working on, right? They gotta fucking pay for it. They may be one of the richest companies in the world, and I'm just being devil's advocate. I'm not stoked about a price hike.
Sure,
I'll be the first to tell you that, because I'm the type. That's why I was saying I might just switch to PC Game Pass, because I want to save fucking money.
Yeah,
But like, I also like see the point of view. It is a business. They have to make money. They have to cover their ass. Because they weren't making money, they had to lay off a bunch of people and close studios, which none of us fucking liked. You know what I mean? So like it's a catch-22, right? Like we can't have our cake and eat it too at the same time, all the time. And yes or no?
My problem with looking at it from that angle is that if it's kind of what Xander's saying in chat, I want to put it in a different perspective, but I would better understand price increases like this if they were actually going to the employees. Like if in the world that we're getting price increases at the same time that we're shutting down studios, it feels weird to me, because it feels almost like it stays consistent with the fact that they're like, hey, we can't afford that, right? And they're cutting studios because of such. But that also means that they're doing price increases to line the pockets of those that are still there, right? That's what we would hope. Is that it's going to be filling the pockets of the people that are still currently involved in the games that are currently rolling out. Well, are they?
We don't know. It could be the cost it could be production costs, it could be equipment costs. It could be gearing up to launch the ever rumored Xbox handheld. You know what I mean? Because
it could be.
That's tinfoil hat for a second. I'm gonna put myself on that.
For sure.
This also, they just announced Amazon, the Amazon Fire Xbox Game Pass compatibility now.
Yeah,
they're probably going to be launching on more platforms, so they're going to be in front of more people, and that's probably what that price hike is kind of, because I imagine you'll have to have Game Pass Ultimate in order to use it on a Fire Stick, right?
Right.
The cloud gaming, unless they come out with a whole separate tier specifically for cloud gaming. You know what I mean? Which we haven't seen anything about yet or heard about.
Well, it's because competitors are pushing so hard to make it not a thing that like they can't make it proprietary for them yet. So like it doesn't make sense for them to do that. But
yeah,
if they ever got to the point where that became a reality, I could see them doing something similar to that as well. Especially if like as streaming devices and home streaming devices become more and more prevalent.
Yeah, and like kind of circling back to the handheld thing, if the handheld is coming, right, they're gonna want to put it at a price point that's in front of the other handhelds, because the other handhelds we're looking at is like your entry fee into the PC handheld gaming market is like roughly $500 plus, right? Like $550 is what I think
for most of them.
Yeah. like for a Steam Deck, right? So, and again, this is what if, right? What if this whole thing is to try to cover costs in one place because they know that all of their subscribers combined paying X amount of dollars, reaching to X millions dollars per month or whatever, can kind of cover, because the production cost of making a console, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because most companies take a loss, like a severe loss, when they create these consoles. They pay way more for the parts than they actually sell the machines for. So let's say if they are coming out with a handheld for some reason, they might be able to put it at a price point to compete with those other PC handhelds and the Switch too, which I could, because they probably have a plan for coming out with their handheld around the same time that comes out. So they're trying to stay competitive.
For now.
I want to take us back, and 100%. I'm with you on the tinfoil hat here. I'm with you. I want to take us back to a couple years to an interview in which Phil Spencer had, and in which he had to talk about a little bit about this Game Pass stuff, right? And the question got brought up: are you guys not worried about how much money you could be losing doing Game Pass this way, right? By doing this model, you guys are going to lose so much money off of this, right? And Phil Spencer said, and I quote verbatim, "We're not worried about the money." Now, I understand that massive markets can shift in 2 years, right? I understand that. And maybe there was some stuff that happened between then and now that they could not physically project in the way that it could have happened. But to me, it goes to show what Garrick was saying earlier about how Xbox seemingly lately has had this weird thing of doing something like distasteful as fuck, backing it up, coming forward again to try to say like, oh, like, hey, listen, we hear you, right? Like the long lasting, like we hear you, we're listening thing that games industry people like to do. And then they fumble themselves again, and then they back it up, and then they come out and have to put out another fucking like weird loose lip apology, and then they fucking fumble again. It's this really weird process where like PlayStation does the same thing, except they just own the fact that they're fucking up. They just say, yeah, we don't give a fuck. Like Xbox, like I don't know. I want to believe that Xbox is consumer friendly, right? That is the part. 2 years ago, you asked us this fucking question about is Xbox consumer friendly? We would have said yes, absolutely. Game Pass is the best deal in gaming ever, point blank, period. And it still is. But I don't know if it's for the company or if it's for us gamers. And that's the part I'm cruxed by. Garrick, your hand was up.
Oh, I was just kind of like, I keep thinking about how, like, you know, like Devin mentioned that like Xbox as a company, like, you know, like some of these price shifts might be based around that, like they try, right? And like, and you even kind of said that they're trying to be consumer friendly, and they try to like base their products at like a price point that a lot of people can get, that they can enter into like the gaming space. And and the thing is like, I love that Xbox has tried to do that. But like, I think maybe it's time that they don't. And like, really, truly, like as an owner of a Series S, and like I've had like a Series S since it's come out, and like knowing where games are at now, like this late into the console cycle, I can tell you like 110% that like when it comes to game development, like every time I buy a game on my Series S, I know I'm getting shafted. I might have saved $200 on the console, but I'm losing hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of gaming experience every time I pay $70 for something on this console, because this console is not putting out a $70 experience. My PlayStation 5, especially now that I have a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Now that I have a PlayStation 5, that Series S is not a next gen console. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It is an entry level next gen console, and that entry level is such an important caveat. And so like the thing that bums me out is like Xbox does all this stuff, right? For within their model, right? Like they have an idea and they have a model and they want to like do these things. They're like, we want to make a product that's like consumer friendly, and we want people, and I fucking love that. The only thing, like the biggest issue with that is like they're basing their models off of an industry that doesn't give a fuck about what they do.
Pause for me really quick, because it's very important that we talk about this right now. Shane says, you sound like my brother. The experience I've had with my Series X has been great. My brother, who now owns both an S and a PS5, says the same thing. We're not saying the Series X is bad. That's not what we're saying. We're saying comparatively, let's just take the PS5 out of the conversation. We're saying comparatively between the S and the X, and the X being marketed as a PS5 equivalent.
If I had an X instead of a PlayStation 5, like if I had both Xbox consoles sitting here, I can probably tell you, just based off of playing games online with Devin, that my opinion would be the same, and that the significance between even the S and the X is that fucking great.
I just wanted to make sure we were clear there. I just want to make sure we were clear.
100%. I'm not talking shit on the Xbox. I'm just, but it's very important was what I was gonna say next. I got to make sure my train of thoughts back on track though.
Yes, my apologies.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I love that Xbox does this. I'm like, that's not what this isn't a negative, but the Series S has its limitations, and the industry doesn't give a fuck about those limitations. Like, it is, I have seen so many fucking articles about, like, from devs, and they're like, yeah, it's not that the Series S is bad, it's just that we don't give a fuck enough to literally design around this console because we know enough people don't have it. Literally, they've literally said, yeah, we're just not optimizing the Series S versions because we know everybody's either got an X or a PlayStation 5, and that's the shit we need to focus on. Devin,
you should really trade in your S and get the digital version if that's feasible thing. Like,
honestly, it's something I'm definitely looking on because I genuinely like my Xbox. I like this generation of Xbox, but like, it's just a bummer that Xbox has a vision that the industry has no obligation to give a fuck about. Right? This is me coming to my point now. If everybody's trying to wonder where the fuck I'm getting with this, is that Xbox has a vision that they want to use as a company. The industry that they're trying to insert themselves into has no obligation to give a fuck about that vision, which is why we're seeing these price hikes. Because while they want to make their consoles, they're like, yeah, we want to make it price friendly. Like, we're just paying for it in other places, right, folks? Right? It's just like how in Oregon there might not be sales tax, but everybody's property tax is fucking insane, right? Like, it's like you're still paying you're still paying them. It's just you're paying them somewhere else, and rather than it being your cheap console or hopefully an affordable handheld, it's just going to be an increasingly expensive Game Pass, right? Like, as long as that service exists, it will continue to price hike. That shit at its inception was $9.99, and you could get that bitch for $1. For $1. If you told somebody in 2024 that's never heard of Game Pass that you could get hundreds of games for $1 a month, they'd probably shit gold, because in this economy, that's insane. But that literally might as well be another lifetime ago. Like, that's just not going to happen. It just sucks that, like, Xbox is so fixed on being Xbox that, like, they're accidentally fucking their own customer base, trying to be consumer friendly, not knowing they're accidentally screwing their primary user base, which is now going to be everybody that has Xbox Game Pass, right? Because that's like their big deal these days, and like that's what's going to be what price increases the most over the years. It's not going to be like their game titles or their first party titles. It's going to be Game Pass. Like, it might be $19.99 now, but like, I guarantee you, we're like, if this podcast is still fucking chucking along in 2026, we're probably going to have this conversation again.
Yes, we will, baby. And in the meantime, we're going to have a different conversation instead, because I think it's time for us to fucking kick the rocks down the road here.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, It's just like, well, yeah, like we knew it's an inevitability. We knew this shit was going to be happening, right? It just sucks, and like
it sucks.
Yeah, this is why. Here's why we thought it sucks. Hopefully, I mean, the thing is probably none of us are going to cancel our Game Pass. We might adjust our subscriptions,
do it.
but we're all going to.
I'm keeping that bitch.
But like, yeah, right. Like I'm still going to be here, right? So like, you know, like
Listen, I'm just saying, nothing.
We're bitching loudly with you all because we feel the same way, right? Like we get it.
Nothing feels better than cheap Xbox games while just fucking blasting rope. You know what I'm saying? Nothing feels better.
Blasting. All right, you shut the fuck up. I was just gonna say my relatable experience to price hikes and subscription services is today. I like checked my bank account and I had an Ernell moment. I was like, where the fuck my money go?
Mm-hmm.
And then I sat there and I was like, I thought I canceled Paramount. I thought I canceled Peacock.
Yep, sure didn't.
What the fuck?
Nope.
Why are these coming out?
You did not.
Yeah.
You did not, my friend.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just, you know, it's just more subscriptions. It's like, you know, at the end of the day with all these subscription services, like I'm pretty sure the average person is paying like anywhere from 150 to like over $200.
It's literally just a new cable bill, man. And like honestly, like some people are gonna choose to cut cut Game Pass because of this hike. And some people are going to choose to cut Netflix and keep their Game Pass instead, right? Like it's whatever your guys' priorities are, people. Like
some people are going to choose to buy new games, Garrick. Let's do it.
Exactly. Some people will just Some people actually pay $70 for games. Or you can be a psychopath like me and buy shit twice. Don't be like me. Don't do that. Yeah, don't be like me. Ernell, tell me what we're heading into next.
My good sir, we are talking about the games that are coming out this week. Actually, that's what we're talking about first before we get into anything else.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I got you, dog.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I wonder, is there anything coming out this week? I mean, there kind of is.
There's stuff on here.
Yeah.
I mean, I got two right here.
Based off of the title, and I've never heard of it before. So here we go. All right, this is what's coming out. This is the popular releases according to Game Informer this week, y'all. At the top of the list, releasing today, July 9th, the time of this recording, is Lifeless Moon. That is going to be available on most major platforms, but it will not be on PC. Actually, it's just Xbox and PlayStation. Excuse me.
Sir.
It's not going to be on PC.
I mean, that is most platforms.
It's already on PC.
Oh, is this a port?
It's a port.
Yeah.
I did not know, but Lifeless Moon is coming to. Excuse me, thank you for correcting me. Lifeless Moon is coming to PlayStation and Xbox today. Is available right now. Also available right now on PC. The servers went live a few hours ago. Is the new like crafting horror survival game with a mobile release coming later this September. Once Human. I think Ernell's going to be checking that out. And
hell yeah, baby.
God,
hell yeah.
I'll download it. I'll download it right now.
I really want to fucking play it. I really want to fucking play it.
You can live vicariously through me. It's okay.
Absolutely, I will. We also have a port of the popular Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown that's coming to Switch on July 11th. So later this week. Also coming on July 11th is the new Devolver Digital game, Angerfoot. That one looks super fucking dope. I'm hoping one of you guys get on that to review. That is one that I wish I could do myself. Then we have also coming to Quest 2 and 3 on July 11th, Death Game Hotel. And then we've got Disney Speedstorm coming to mobile. That's actually a pretty legit little game, racing game. The graphics are pretty great. And then coming to Xbox, because this was just originally available on PlayStation and PC, if I do recall, is Neon White. That was a super popular roguelite from last year. And we also have coming to Switch July 12th, we have Drows. I have no idea what the hell that is, but it looks like a platformer. I'm going to double check. It is a platformer. I was like, looks like a platformer. It is a platformer, and that's coming to that is a PC game that's getting ported to Switch. So there you have it. Those are some popular releases.
I don't know what Drows is, but I know what Dro is. You know what I'm saying, Devin? Tell him. Tell him, dog.
Shut the fuck up, Sanguinet.
Anyways, hey,
fucking loser.
What are you doing? What are we doing next? What are you doing next?
Fucking loser.
Anyway, Devin,
fucking loser.
Now tell him what we're actually doing. Like next, like now, Devin. Now tell him. Like now,
me.
Yes, tell him.
Did I stutter?
Well, this whole episode has been a fucking game, so here's the end of it. This is the end game.
He might have. He might have. You're right. He might have. He might have stuttered. Oh, fucking Garrick. God damn it. Oh,
Rare
boy.
self-burn.
Yeah, that's okay. You owned it. It's all right, Your PlayStation in this situation. It's great.
Yeah. We're heading into the end game, folks. We're gonna have a little discussion here about. We're gonna have an open forum conversation about why the hell don't expansions and major DLCs and that sort of thing get game of the year, right? So we're gonna have a little discussion, right? Beyond, right? I'm just gonna say a little thing right now. Beyond, like, it just not being a new title for the year, right? We're looking past that. We understand that that's like the primary qualification of game of the year, right? Like, we're not new to this. Didn't fall off the turnip truck yesterday, right? So barring that very obvious piece of information, folks, because I just know somebody's gonna say something.
Well, because we looked at the qualifications. And Game
Awards
happen. Says that expansions could be voted for Game of the Year. Like there's nothing barring them.
Say they're banned. Yeah, something that can't happen. So like, why? So what? Why don't those get considered? Right? Is it just because they have their own categories in Games of the Year? Right? Because we've had some incredibly like stellar, like recent expansions and DLCs, and there's been some incredible ones over the years. Right? Like just this year alone, we've had the Final Shape and Shadow of the Air Tree. Right? Everybody loved Destiny 1's The Taken King. Witcher 3's Blood and Wine held the title of the best expansion ever made before Shadow of the Air Tree came out. Right, we've also had some really, really highly regarded like MMO expansions, like World of Warcraft's Wrath of the Lich King in the early 2000s, right? Or Final Fantasy XIV's Endwalkers, right? Critically acclaimed, massive expansions that elevated the game, added to the game experience, right? Or Phantom Liberty is another great one, like other things like that have added to the game in a way that have arguably made it a brand new experience, right?
Right. Yeah. I hydrated. Sorry. Let's go ask for it in chat.
I'll hydrate because but like so I beg the question. So I beg the question to you, to gentlemen, like, why doesn't it happen? Why do you think this just doesn't occur? Like, do you think there's some industry stigma around it that's preventing that from taking place, or do you think it's truly been that we've never had one rise above to be as good as a newly launched title of the year?
I guess I'll pass the ball, starting with me, and I'll toss it over to Devin. Yes. ... question mark. I think that there is a level of, hey, we've already played this, that keeps it from elevating to that next step. You know what I mean? Because no matter which way that we hash it, an expansion, although new content, although it can bring new things to the game, 99% of the time it is the same game. Just with more.
Right. It's not like it's rewriting the formula, right? Like it's generally it's adding to or elevating, right? That's usually what expansions are intended to do, is to expand upon what was already there.
Yes, exactly. And it's not to say that like it's wrong for them to do that, because like by all means, like I understand why someone would say, oh well, I mean, like, this is more Destiny. Why should this game of the year, right? When it's Destiny. It took them too long to do this, blah blah blah. There's a whole lot of conversations that you can have around that. I think that it is definitely ill-placed myself. I think that something of the caliber of Blood and Wine or Shadow of the Erd Tree or The Final Shape should have an opportunity to get some sort of greater accolade that is not just ongoing game. You know what I mean? I think that a Game of the Year thing would be worthy of something like Shadow of the Erd Tree. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it would be cool to see. I think that a big part of it is because everyone loves new IPs. everyone loves new game because new game is new game, and I think that it makes sense because of the human element of things. But I wish it wasn't so. You know what I mean? We played some dank ass expansions in our lives. I'm sure we can all agree. There's been some gas fucking expansions we played, Devin.
Like a lot of expansions that come out at a caliber above the original game too.
Yes,
Far exceed the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, Cyberpunk is great. But Phantom Liberty.
Yeah, but Phantom Liberty literally proves that they learned from all of their mistakes and they're right. Like it literally encapped, like they're like, look, we literally listened to every piece of feedback you've given us for the last 3 fucking years, right? And made it into something beautiful. Like rather than just an update, they're like, we want to create something fresh to show you we really can make an absolute amazing story and writing, perform all the things from start to finish, and that's what they showcased there, right? Like it was a beautiful fucking showing, right? Because Cyberpunk was never going to be in the running for Game of the Year, but Phantom Liberty arguably elevated it to that status. Yes.
Yep, 100%. And like one of my favorite expansions, DLCs ever to come out of a game is Far Cry Blood Dragon. Totally new experience.
I heard that
Far
shit
Cry
was
3.
sick. I heard that
so
game was
gas,
dope as
so
fuck.
fun, so funny. Tiny Tina's freaking Assault on Dragon Keep, the D&D twist.
I heard that was literally it was so good it spawned a spinoff.
Yep. Going back to some older games, Elder Scrolls Oblivion 4 with a freaking Shivering Isles, one of the best RPG DLCs ever to come out.
I love shit. Yeah, that was like Shia Gorath. That was an amazing DLC, man. Like
Final
truly.
Shape right now. It's getting 9s and 10s. Shadow Erdtree, same thing. 10s, 9s, mainly 10s, some 9s out there.
Mostly
some
10s,
even lower because people suck.
Fuck those guys.
Even the new God of War Valhalla expansion,
fucking great expansion,
accolades, right? You got the Dragon Age series with tons of comparable expansions, Mass Effect. It's actually kind of insane the more you think about it that these don't get considered for any awards whatsoever, especially at the height and how celebrated these things get. You got Bloodborne, the Old Hunters. Think about Fallout DLC, like Fallout. Come on, every time that they come out with DLC, it always expands off of the game. New Vegas had a bunch of incredible DLC. Fallout 4 had a bunch of incredible DLC. And yes, you could kind of say it's some of the same game, but at the same time, when they're adding completely new experiences and areas and adding more content, a new narrative, I feel like that should be considered in some way,
for sure.
Agree.
I don't necessarily mean that in terms of like, it's the thing game. You know what I mean? Like I'm not being that bitch like that. I mean it from
people are
they are for sure.
But
I
even
mean
though
it from,
you're not being that way, I think that's how the majority does see it.
Well, I think that there's just a natural cognitive bias that people have because of the fact I played this already a year ago.
Right. That's
that's like that goes to the conversation of why it's so important that DLCs are good, that they're worth the money because they have to sell us to come back. Like we already have that natural, like, is it really worth me going back to that game even though I beat it already? Like, should I go back to that a year and a half and relearn all the controls and do all this bullshit over again? Well, yeah, if the DLC is good enough, fucking yeah, I'll fucking do it. But if the DLC is not offering more than just more of the game, then what reason do I have to do that besides like just being attached to the game, right?
Dude, yeah, and that's like a perfect example, like, and which segues beautifully into like one of my like all-time favorite expansions, right? That literally got like 9s, it came out in 2008. World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King was like I remember IGN gave it a 9 out of 10 in 2008. It's literally like one of the most beloved MMORPG expansions of all time. after a very, very quite bitter first expansion with the Burning Crusade. Like the Burning Crusade wasn't great. Like it was super fucking grindy. The factions, there was a lot of issues with the factions, and basically, like if you didn't dedicate like World of Warcraft being your second life, like it wasn't fulfilling to play. And like then they released Wrath of the Lich King, and it literally revived the fucking game, like in a sense. Like the player base it jumped massively, but it also brought in a ton of new players, right? And it was like one of the very first time it was the first time they introduced a brand new class ever to the game with the Death Knight, right? Like with the hero class, they really it really truly elevated the experience, and the story writing was better. Like they proved that they learned from their mistakes, right? And that it was truly a much better experience, even though it was more of the same game, right? Like they fixed it, right? Like they repaired it, or or just overall improved it. Maybe it wasn't bad, right? Like in the first place. So I think it's interesting because I do think you're right. Everybody does kind of have like that cognitive bias. Like they're like, yeah, we've been here before. It's like this is familiar ground. But like sometimes, folks, that familiar ground really can be a good thing. And sometimes retreading those steps with like a really, really good story like that sometimes is better than the original story, like Blood and Wine, right? Or Phantom Liberty. Like we need to have more of a conversation around these. Like I'm literally looking at the Game Award categories right now, and there's the only thing they could possibly go to, like, it would literally be
It's really
best ongoing
game. That's really the only category. Yeah.
Like there's not even a category specifically for expansions, and like the Game Awards is kind of like the biggest contender when it comes to like giving out these sorts of accolades publicly, right? There's a lot of these things, but like a lot of them are for very, very different sorts of accolades, right? Or for niche accolades, or like just all sorts of other things. Like I don't know of anything specifically, and I would live like if somebody like has a source, I would love to be corrected. Like I don't know that a lot of platforms that do Game of the Year awards in any capacity do like awards specifically for DLCs and expansions. Like it's just written off as like something that we're expected to get, and like they're like, yeah. They're like, you either liked it or you didn't. But like, why are we not celebrating more like the good that we're actually getting, especially when we're all willing to bitch so fucking loudly when it's not good? Like, we need to be celebrating when we're getting what we want just as much as when we're not getting what we want.
I have a question to you guys, and I wanna pitch this over to Devin here. Let's just brass tacks here, right? Let's just get straight to the fucking point. Do you think it'll happen? Do you think they'll ever do it? Will, like, I mean, in a year that we got Shadow of the Erd Tree, supposedly just the best DLC expansion that has ever been made, according to many out there. Is this the year that it happens? Do we see it waiting another year before they're kind of like, man, we've been getting a lot of good. Devin, do you think it's time? Is it time for them to do this?
I would say yes. I do think it's time that they do it, because I feel like DLC and expansions elevate the game to an even better level than it was before. Do I think it's going to happen this year? I don't know, because I don't know the planning process. You know, it could take Keeley all year to set up the awards and make a plan and time slots and stuff like that, because his goal lately, and he's talked about it on many of podcasts and interviews, how he doesn't want the show to be longer. What happens when you add more segments, more awards? The game show is going to be longer by at least like another 5 minutes per category, right?
Well, okay, if they don't do that, then do you think that maybe this is the year that we do get an expansion as Game of the Year? Do you think that is a possibility? Like,
I don't know. It's hard to say, right? Because
I don't think we'll add
new games. There's so many new games that came out this year that are also getting reviewed very well, right? And there's still so many games to come out this year. Like once we get to the end of summer, it's get on the train because there's like another like 10 games that are coming out and
fall's
like
looking
major
good.
games. And like I say at least 60 to 70% of those have the capability to surprise us and maybe be that good, right? But I'm not going to
at least potentially collect some sort of award by the end of the year,
exactly.
Right?
So I think that we deserve a category for expansion of the year or DLC of the year, whatever way you want to call it, because I feel like ongoing game should be reserved for
like a true live service shit, like Apex, like just seasonal games.
Yeah, exactly.
Genshin,
like games,
your Genshin Impacts, your Fortnite,
exactly.
your like, man, games that just go.
Yeah. However, if one of those games like Destiny comes out with a story, which I one day really want you to play that, Garrick. I want to experience that storyline with you.
He's still doing it, Garrick. He's still trying,
one
man.
Day.
He's still trying.
He's gonna.
Ernell, can you blame me after our experience playing that story?
He'll get me. He'll collect me over like a holiday break one day, and like just be like, he's like, just fuck Lightfall, buddy. Like we're just
I'm
install
already
it.
like that.
Like
he is like that, honestly.
I
almost agree. I almost agree, but I'm not pushing it. I'm not pushing it.
Look, I need to rest on it regardless because Lightfall was poo poo.
Can I say this? I would like to at least play the Final Shape story with you, and I don't care. I will just skip Lightfall on one of my other characters and play that with you. And Excision, and we have to get you to Excision too. Because since you have been there since the beginning,
you deserve it. You deserve the ending, man.
Yeah, I literally was there. I remember fucking buying that shit I literally bought Destiny on PlayStation 4 on fucking disc on launch day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Launch day.
It was actually,
I wasn't even a Halo fan. I had no business being here. Like
it was PS3 because PS4 wasn't out yet when the
was it also on Xbox 360?
Yep.
I think that's probably what I had it on then.
Yeah, it was on 360, and then when Taken King came out, it was the same time that the new consoles came out too.
I had Taken King on PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That's what I did. I upgraded to the Xbox One and got the Taken King edition and all that shit. But yeah, expansions, they should be celebrated more than just going, yeah, that's good. Because that's what the industry does to it, right?
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
they go, just that's good.
It literally gets like it's 15 minutes of fame, and then we'll talk about right. Like everybody, literally, Blood and Wine was legitimately considered like subjectively the best expansion. Critically speaking, we're talking review scores, folks. The fucking numbers. It was the highest rated expansion of all time. Or that's across all genres, MMOs, fucking single player games, live service bullshits, what the fuck have you, of all time. And literally, you want to know what recognition it got? It didn't. It didn't.
Yep.
It didn't.
It deserved recognition.
And it deserved it.
Phantom
Liberty was legitimately better than the base game.
Mm-hmm.
Blood and Wine is better than base Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Agreed.
If they did a best expansion category this year and they put the expansions that we've been getting this year into that category, I would be okay with almost any of them winning, because that's like putting some of the best games into Game of the Year and just being okay with any of them winning.
Yeah, man,
that's where I'm at already.
Esports categories. Drop an esports category.
There's enough money in that already. They get recognized that way. So yeah. Yeah, I we could beat this into the dirt, right? We could talk more and more about how we what accolades these games deserve. But I rest my case.
Yeah.
Garrett, play Final Shape with me.
I think we are all of the consensus that we agree that these expansions need more recognition and accolades. publicly at these event shows that that do happen at the end of the year. They deserve to be talked about more than they do. We are also pragmatic enough as individuals to realize that the industry is slow to come around to this sort of stuff. But it's about damn time. It's ready to happen. We've had some great expansions, and it's time to acknowledge how great they are. But what else is super fucking great is the rest of our week, folks. So I'm gonna get into the schedule that we have going on. So Thursday, no content. We see in a movie, folks. And then we have our final piece of content for that week. Surprise! We're reviewing that movie for you. What movie is it, you asked? We're reviewing Long Way. We're reviewing Nicolas Cage's. I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is his debut horror film. Yes.
No,
not technically. This is his debut of being the villain,
antagonist,
the antagonist of a horror film.
I don't know if the villain.
Well,
the antagonist of a horror film. No, is Red Dead count?
That's a horror genre. That's like a horror comedy.
Look, I mean, I'm standing correct. I'm just gonna.
He's a slasher. It's his first time as a slasher villain. All right,
take that, rewind it back. You know, we're sure got the thing that made the birdie go. Anyways, we got but like go see it's Long Legs. It's a new Nicolas Cage movie called Long Legs, where apparently he plays a serial killer of some kind, and there's some occult like things and nature around the case. And I'm seeing some good buzz around it on the internet. I'm a firm believer that Nick Cage can do whatever the fuck that he wants to do.
Yep.
And I will go watch it. So we are going to be giving y'all a review of Nicolas Cage's new film Long Legs this Friday.
What's the name of the movie?
Long Legs.
Yeah.
Long Legs.
Incredibly long. Incredibly long.
Long Legs. So if you guys want to see it,
we're reviewing it
Long
on
Legs.
Friday.
And if you want to
see Long Legs
on
Thursday.
on Friday.
Yeah.
Let us know, folks, if you guys think that expansions and DLCs should be considered for Game of the Year, or if they should maybe even have their own little category so they could be celebrated, right? Because this has been Good Kraken's Death Ratio, your choice for all of the nerdy video game news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear live each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. West Coast, Best Coast time. If you've liked what you've heard, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive content, and have early access to episodes before they go live on podcast and video services, wherever you like to watch or listen. But you can also support us by going over to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Death Ratio and leaving a review there. We gotta go, folks, but until next time, long legs.
Long legs.
Long legs.
Long legs.
Long legs.
Step the wrong way and you will perish.
Long legs.
Long legs.
Long legs. Long
legs.
Long legs.
Brother,